Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time to use up the rest of our stickers for April 2025 from our Noteworthy Days sticker pack. I used up the first part of them in this past month's Creative Memories virtual crop, and that is on the live tab of my channel here if you'd like to see how I used those. And now we are going to use the rest of them here in just a moment. I am a Creative Memories advisor, and I would love to be your advisor. You can find the details for my website in the description box below this video, and I hope I'm inspiring you on what to do with your stickers and how to put together some different ideas maybe for some of your scrapbooking pages and a few cards along the way as well. Well, I mentioned it in the live virtual crop the other day. I missed working from the 101 scrapbooking ideas and sketchbook, and I have pulled it back out for a little bit of a doozy this time. But I think y'all are going to like my interpretation, so let's get to it. Here we go. If you'll remember, we have a lot of minty, what I'm calling mint, spring stickers left in our April sticker pack. This one is the sketch I picked. Here's what we're going to be doing with it if you want to grab a quick screenshot. The other thing we're going to be doing is this. And so essentially with sketches, they're open to interpretation, and I pulled really from here and from the sides, and we're kind of pulling things out a bit to make it a 2-page layout. We're going to start using our mint polka dot paper that's in the tonal pack for this collection. It has the medium brown stripes on the back side of it. I'm going to set one sheet aside because we are going to start on the left side of our page, and we are going to use a couple of punches and a couple of Border Maker cartridges to put this layout together. For your Border Maker cartridges, I say it in every short when I introduce these, you will need the Border Maker system. This part holds the punch, and this part holds your paper when you go to punch with it. If you would like a demonstration short or video showing how to use the Border Maker system, please leave me a comment and I will be happy to do that for you. We're using our Rustic Fence Border Maker cartridge. Now, if you also have the Field Fence Border Punch, you can substitute that as well. And we are going to be using the Watering Cans Border Maker cartridge. We also are going to be using our Fresh Flower Punch, as well as the Leafy Vine Punch. Grab out those punches and come and scrapbook along with me here. We're going to need several colors of cardstock as well, and I'm going to go ahead and show you and talk it through along the way here. The only other sheet of designer paper I pulled for this layout is this one. It is the one also from the tonal pack with the navy blue stripes on the back of it. And I went ahead and did pull out my decorative trimmer for this one. I know it's sold out. I try not to show things that are sold out. However, if you have one sitting around, it was this end of the decorative trimmer. I kind of wanted to mimic dirt a little bit with this one because this is essentially a spring layout using the Noteworthy Days collection. So I went ahead and I just matched it up with the closest grid line here at the end of my paper, and I cut using my thing here. I brought in the paper from this end here. So I had the rest of the paper coming out this way. You either want to line it up at the top or the bottom both times for each side of your paper. And I cut 2 of these, and then essentially on each end of my 12-inch paper, and then I went ahead and put in my 12-inch trimmer, and I cut this at 2.5 inches, essentially measuring at the furthest out point of the top and bottom of my paper on my trimmer. hopefully that explains that well. I'm going to go ahead and stick some tape runner on this one, but I'm going to wait to stick it down because I need to put down my leafy vine first, going down this left side of my page. So the leafy vine I punched with our dark green cardstock. The rustic fence is from our hot fudge cardstock, and the flower pot is from the canary cardstock. And these are both edge border makers, and the leafy vine is a standalone or a chain border. So we'll go ahead and place down the leafy vine, and then I'll talk you through where I cut the other two. Okay, come on. Work with me here. We want the vine climbing up our page. Oops. There we go. And so I'm going to actually pull out my trimmer to talk you through this one. Because the flower pot, you will see from my short that you can cut it at different widths, and it will depend on how wide to cut this one. I went with the wider bottom on it, so I cut this one at 1 inch because I did want to have a little bit more of the cardstock showing below my actual watering cans. Now, with the rustic fence, I'm going to pull my trimmer out and show you exactly where I lined this up, because what I did was I had my fence, essentially, let me pick this up. So I had my fence in my trimmer this direction, and I lined up my cardstock essentially with the end of the gray mat from this last part here. So essentially I lined it up just like this with the gray mat, of course fitting the paper into the actual cutting zone, and cut there. It's essentially 1 1/8 inches, but I wanted to show you exactly what I did because I didn't actually measure it. I just got it close because that's where I wanted to line it up. I just wanted to have that little bit of a bottom on my fence, and I wanted to make sure I had it straight in my trimmer, so I felt like lining it up with this bottom part of the actual fence made the most sense for me. Now, let's see, my watering cans are going to go behind my fence. So let's line these two up on our border mat here. Because we have enough tape runner on here, I think, to stick this down. I just want it to line up with the top line. It's nice. Our rustic fence has some nice grid lines on it to help us along here. I'm not going to press down because I want this up just a little bit. I essentially want the bottom of my flower pots lined up so it doesn't really show through the back end of our rustic fence. So you can see where I just lined that up directly there. And now I'm going to place it about 1/4 inch up from the bottom of my page, going across my page, and my flower pots are off just ever so slightly. So we need to fix that before we press it down. And I will do that real quick here. Just pulling it over a little bit. And then bring this up here, line that up there. Everything's going wonky now. Is that an official term? Probably not. It's a Catherine term. Okay, so now I'll fix my fence up a little bit here. So that way it'll still be about well, no, that's crooked, isn't it? It's not going to be 1/4 inch off the bottom of the page if I keep my watering can there. This is tougher than I thought it was going to be. Okay, rustic fence. Let's get you lined up. It's only about 1/8 inch. 1/4 inch along the bottom of our page. Fix our flower pots up a little as well. Let me grab my multi-purpose tool so that can help me lift this and maneuver it easier. Probably should have known this was going to be a little bit more complicated than what I had in my mind, but I think it's going to be worth it once we have it all together. There we go. So it looks like my paper, my canary cardstock, is just a little bit long, which happens sometimes. The Creative Memories does have allowances that let the manufacturer go over just a little bit. So I'm going to turn over my sheet of paper and just take my microtip scissors and cut really quickly to create that more seamless edge. I think it was about a 1/16 of an inch, which is fine, but it's not what I wanted. Add just a little bit of tape to one of my watering cans. Okay. So now what are we doing here? Let's go ahead and place down our mats. So with the mats, these are our white cardstock. I actually pulled out a sheet of white cardstock, and we're also going to be using a little bit of bright white as well. And I'll show you what inspired some of this besides the white polka dots on the page. We have one of our stickers is this floral daisy sticker, and you can see just how well that complements it, but I also thought it complemented our bright white as well. So you can see here's the daisies, here's white, and there's bright white. I don't know if you can actually pick out some of the tones. It's just ever so slightly more, the white is a little bit more muted, go figure, than the bright white. And with the bright white, I punched several of our fresh flowers. And so we'll get that going in just a moment. And you'll see just how these two white tones are going to work on our page. This is another one first for me, using two shades of white. I rarely do white mats, and this layout just spoke to me to have those white mats. So I'm going about a 1/2 inch from the top of the page. I have about a 1/2 inch in between the two mats here. And I am running them right at the edge of the page. Now I also have this tag that I found in our embellishment pack, and that is going to be coming in. This we're going to line up with the bottom mat, the bottom edge of the bottom mat here. So I'm just following the sight line with my eye with about 3/4 of an inch in between here. This is from our embellishment pack, one of the tags that's in there. So helping to use up a few embellishments along the way as well, but the stickers are my primary goal here. But this tag can be used for journaling. And I want to stick down my daisies first because the daisies have a specific place on the page up here, kind of covering up the very top of our, in fact, it looks like my vine is a little bit over the top of the page as well. So let me grab back out my microchip scissors real quick to fix that because I don't want my sticker going over the top of the page. Yep, just a little bit. All right, again, about a 1/16 of an inch. So it's not much, but it's enough to notice. Now, here comes in our daisies at an angle up here at the very top. Our tag is going to come in over here, and our Hello April is going to get popped up here. So I want to make sure we have space for our tag. Actually, there we go. I can run it along this line here. And again, with about that 1/2 inch in between is the perfect spot for our tag there. I'm going to pop this one up on foam squares so I can figure out where I put my foam squares. Here we go. And then we also had a butterfly that we are going to double pop, which is something else I don't think I've done very much either. Okay, hello April. Going up here. And our little blue butterfly. We have a blue butterfly and we have a mint butterfly. So I'm going with the blue butterfly first. Okay, here we go. We're going to put one foam square, take the backing off, and then we're going to take a second foam square, line those up as best you can, and double foam square. Oops. There you go. Stacked like a cheeseburger. Now it's going to come in from up over here. There we go. Okay, now let's get the rest of this layout put together, at least on this left side. I also have one more embellishment. You can see where we're going with the colors here. We have those blues and those mint colors that are just carrying through the entire layout. Here are our bright white flowers. And then I also have a canary flower and a navy flower. So repositionable tape for those, regular tape runner for our embellishment. And we are going to have the right side of the page done here in just a moment. Now, if you want, and I thought about this, you can punch a bunch more with the fresh flower punch using your canary cardstock and have a bunch of little yellow centers for your flowers, just like you would on the daisy here. Or if you have the piece by piece mini punch trio, you can accomplish the same thing using the circle from that as well. I'm opting not to, and I'm hoping I'm not going to regret it. So that's why I wanted to make sure to mention it for all of you. This is going down on this right end of our border because I thought, let's keep it okay. Navy is at the top here. So you can see where it our flowers add a little bit of extra, but it's also not going to take away from our photos. I wasn't sure if I put the yellow centers in them, if it was going to be too much, drawing the eye too much to the flowers and not enough to our actual photos. So again, up to you how you want to interpret things and how you want to work it out for your layout. I'm adding an extra one down here in the corner, just as if we have another flower growing on our fence down here. But that's it for the left side of our page. I will hold the camera for you all here. I have to get some more foam squares because we're going to need more on the right side again. All right, what do y'all think? Let's make a companion page and turn the single page layout into a double. All right, so here is my other side here, and it's essentially going to mirror the opposite side. I did cut my flower pot at the same point and the rustic fence at the same point. We have another leafy vine here. I have another piece that I cut on my decorative trimmer as well. All right, just looking real quick with the repositionable tape. It's nice because it has those little dots so you can see where you're actually placing your tape. And that's something I do have on my channel, a tape runner demo. It's a little bit older. I think I was showing the difference to show the vellum tape runner as well, because we had a collection that had vellum in it. I think I need to update that one, but okay. Usually you can get up the regular tape runner right away if you push it down. Let me get my vine going up through my page here real quick before placing that down. It just goes to show how easy it is if you do like Catherine and put down your bottom part too soon. Just put a little bit of repositionable tape just to kind of help it stay at the edges here also. Okay, so our vines going up are 2.5-inch pieces going across. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to actually place the rustic fence first this time. I think getting the placement on this is going to help me get the placement for the flower pots. I just placed it, but I didn't press it down. So let's see if this works out for me easier. Yep, I think so. Just tucking that flower pot border under seems to be the trick. And then I'm just looking to make sure that I'm not showing anywhere underneath, which I'm not. And I'm going ahead and I will need to trim a little bit. And let me see if I need to trim, yep, the top of my vine as well. Get it all at the same time this time. A little bit of bonus cardstock here. You just never know. Sometimes you get that little bit of extra. There we go. And with using my microtip scissors, they have that little special coating on them that helps things not to stick. And all my pieces go flying here. Let me grab my mats and we'll get those placed, and then we'll start placing the rest of our stickers and finish off this layout. Okay, so again, I am going to, let me bring this other one in just to make sure we are somewhat symmetrical with our mats. Going, since I put them right at the edge of the page, I do want things to be easy on the eyes once they go into the album. Make sure things are lined up. My fence and my flower pots are in good shape there. And here we go. Our first mat coming across the page and the second mat. Okay, and all of my mats are 4x6. I'm not sure if I remembered to mention that on the other side. So I used one sheet of white cardstock and cut it 4 inches twice, turned it, and cut everything at 6 inches, and wound up with my 6 mats for this layout. I'm going to continue and place this one eye line following the bottom mat here again. And now we have a few more of our flowers. We have a red one here. I did punch one red. I still have navy canary and bright white as well. We have another tag. This one has the mint on it. And so this one's more decorative than actually for journaling. I think the other side of the page is more appropriate for journaling on. We also have our little chicks that have the farm fresh on them, as well as our rain or shine sticker here. I have one. Okay. So let's get our flowers going first, I think. We do have a lot to place on this page, but we had quite a few stickers left over. And so now really we got most of them onto this 2-page layout. I don't feel like it was forced. Once you see it together, I think you'll see where they just really flow nicely together. And let's see here. Okay, red is at the top of this side here. And the reason I brought in the red was because of this guy here. He inspired a lot of the cardstock choices on the page. He has red, a little bit of beige or cool gray almost. The island waters are mint, and the darker blue or navy just on that one sticker. So it's nice to bring back in some of those colors in our flowers going down through our page here. I need to bring that other one down just a little bit more, this navy one. There we go. White is going on the bottom again, growing off of our fence here. There we go. This is coming up here, and we need to place this a little bit closer. So that way our birdhouse is going to cover. So here's the eye line again. That worked out well. About 1/2 to 3/4-ish with that tag above our mat here. And then our birdhouse is going to be on a foam square again. And see if we can use up a couple more of these on this one. There we go. Okay. Kind of angling them a bit. And then we have the mint butterfly that's also going to get double foam square. So that way, again, a little bit of symmetry happening. So our birdhouse does overlap 2 of our mats just a little bit. I probably should have used my anti-stick powder tool on it, but I should still be able to get my photos in easily underneath there. Let's double foam square our little mint butterfly here, and then we'll add in our little chicks and our umbrella, and that'll be all she wrote on this one. If I can pick up the butterfly, I'm still struggling with my left thumb a little bit here. I finally get to go tomorrow to have them hopefully help me get it back into the joint. It's been an interesting experience seeing how much I actually do left-handed when I am right-handed here. So this one is going to be landing on our birdhouse, visiting our little bird here. You know what, I might be putting that upside down. Yep, okay, so we're going to put them from this end. I kind of like him upside down. I hate to say it, but we'll go ahead and put it up towards the top of the birdhouse. How's about that? With our double foam square. I think I placed that just too close over the top, very top. There we go. Okay, so our birdhouse is still popped. Our butterfly is popped. Our rain or shine is going to come in at the bottom here. Again, this is just finalizing some of our colors on the page as well. Our little farm fresh chicks are going to be down here with our fence, and you can see again those yellows, the browns, the mints are all coming into play here, and finally our little chick is going to be hanging out underneath the umbrella, trying not to get too wet. Okay. So here is the right side of our page. What do y'all think of that? I think it's going to be better once you see it together. Here we go. But essentially, working from our sticker sheet, I found a sketch that worked to put these all together. And you can see where I pulled out those extra flowers, just bringing in that little tiny pop of red brings back in our bird, but it also helps our photos when we put them on the page as well. And now you can really see the bright white versus the regular white versus the white polka dots on our base page as well. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our sketch again. And what do y'all think? Did you think that this is where I was going to go with it? Bringing us into a nice spring layout. And I just thought that using the deco trimmer added a little extra homage to all of the circles that were on the original layout. And we just subbed a couple borders, added some extra flair. And it's done. Let me all know in the comments what you think of it. I think it's ready for a few of my spring flower photos. I'm going to have to go out and take a few more. But let's go ahead and make a card with that Earth Day sticker that we have left. Putting the cardstock with the blue lid on the outside. Making sure my blade is outside of my fold in my cardstock. So let's try that again. Get your pegs into your track on the outside and your blade in. So you can feel it hit the edge of the cardstock. That's basically where we want it. And then we want to hold it down and take out these edges. There we go. So it's not exactly perfectly round. It's not exactly perfectly round. Apparently I didn't press hard enough on that last one. It was catching my thumb pain a little bit. So I'm just going to use my microtip scissors and push it through the rest of the paper here gently. So we're not a perfect circle, but you can tell it has that roundness to it. And that's basically what we want. You could make it, cut your cardstock to 4.5, but I wanted to make sure it would fit into an envelope because that's just one of my things. So I made sure I cut my cardstock to 4.25 by 8.5, and that is what I did. So now we're going to grab out our green blade to do our second cut on our blue sheet here. This one has the brown lines on the back side of it. And I think we're going to run it to the edge again. So put your blade in, line up at the right hand side of the 6, which is kind of where I put it the last time. Well, it's not kind of, it's where I put it the last time, was on the right hand side of the 6 on our cutting mat. I'm going to bring my circle up until I feel the blade hit the paper, which I am right there. And then we're going to go ahead and cut around this one. And this one is going to be a little bit more of a circle. But again, we still have this more straight edge on the side here. And actually, I may go ahead and flip that and link it up over here. You can see where it'll just round off things a little bit more. And now we're going to take our red blade with this piece of, it's white with the blue grid on it, paper. It's the one that has the tile look on the other side of it. Line it up on the right side of the 6 again. And this paper I did it 4 inches by 4.25, I believe, because it was only 4 inches wide to begin with. It was one of our scraps. So I just went with it. You can choose to do what you would like. And so we have 3 layers coming in to highlight our Earth Day sticker. Let's get these layered. Okay, tape runner. We probably do need to put a little bit of repositionable around the edges just to make sure that our circles don't fly around on our card front. Just interspersed around a bit. I'm going to give this about 1/8 of an inch around. And like I said, we're mimicking this straight edge for where we're going to open our card here. Now our second circle is round, so we will go ahead and work this one in from the right at about an 1/8 inch, which means it's going to cover up this little straight line we worked to get. We can actually, I'm going to take my microtip scissors and just give it a little trim to straighten it so it matches. Sometimes it's in the details of what you're doing. And I just feel like this is one of those details where otherwise we're throwing things off a little bit. So straighten out just a hair. We have this cog I found in our embellishment pack. I want to see Earth Day. It's April 22nd. Let me see how this is going to look before I actually, yeah, I think that actually makes it look kind of, it highlights our earth nicely. So let's put some repositionable tape on the embellishment. And sometimes I get these ideas and then I'm not completely sure how it's all going to hash out here. It almost looks a little bit like an eyeball, doesn't it? Well, let's foam square our earth. And then you are going to have a card for the Earth Day occasion. Kind of fun. What do y'all think of my little round Earth Day card? It does look a little bit different, but I picked the light blue cardstock for the base. So that way you could easily write on it using your journal pen. Your black pen will show up easily on this one. Here we go. There you go. Pull that out right all over your card. Throw it in an envelope. And you are set to go. And if you mail it, I don't know if you're even going to need the extra postage for just the one little foam square, but that's up to you. Or I guess that's up to the post office, isn't it? It's not up to all of us, maybe. But anyways, that's the end of our April stickers, and I will have more ideas with the May stickers at the May virtual crop. Don't forget to check my channel the week before, the Monday before, to vote in the poll to see what other collections I use for the virtual crop. Until next time.